Good afternoon, it's Talking Cafe. I'm Bella Lapwood, a village agent for Mendip. And today I'm joined by Alison Ward, who is the director at Autism Somerset. Hi, Alison.
Hi.
Alison's going to give us a bit of an overview of what they do, what they've got to offer, and some new programs that they've got started. So if you would like to carry on, Alison, and we'll have a little chat about it as we go along. And if anybody's got any questions, they can put them into the comments box and we'll get those answered. But hopefully you'll get all the information you need as we go along.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Bella. So yeah, Alison Ward, one of the directors from Autism Somerset. We're a community interest company. So we've been kind of in the public domain now for well over 10 years. And it was originally set up by a gentleman called Campbell Main, who was an advocate really very much for people with autism and neurodiversity. And he sat on the NICE guidelines when they started to put the Autism Act in 2015. So yeah, we've kind of got a long journey. There's myself as a director, then I have Stephen Bradshaw, who's one of the directors with me, who set up one of the very first schools and is also a still director of and offers consultancy for schools now. We have a lady called Diane Zacchio, who's also a co-director, who's a family and behavioural therapist, and she specialises in ADHD. Then we have a steering group, so just so you've got some kind of idea of kind of who we are, like it's not just me. Then we have a steering group of clinical psychologists, mental health counsellors, adults with diagnosis of autism, cognitive behavioural therapists, and then a whole team of NLP practitioners, and then a group of other parents as well. So myself being a parent, and then we also have a group of other parents. So as we get together quarterly, and as a steering group, that kind of informs what we're going to be doing next, what bids we're going to apply for, what training we might be offering, and kind of the programs that we might develop together. And so we all collaborate on those. Within that, then, so we offer kind of programs of workshops. Sometimes we're really fortunate we get funding through Somerset Skills and Learning, which means that we can go across the whole of Somerset, or we can do them online, and then we can offer our training on autism and neurodiversity. Within that, we talk a little bit around our 4 key areas around how neurotypical people might want to change, as in thinking about our communication, thinking about our actions and behaviours, focusing on our thinking processes, and then being aware of kind of sensory processing as well. So part of our courses, we do a sensory process. Interestingly, it still works on Zoom, so that's really fortunate for us, that you can still make people really hypersensitive to sensory stuff, even on Zoom and in the comfort of very familiar places, which brings lots of discussion and conversations. And so that's primarily kind of where we are within our training, and certainly within the kind of the consultancy we offer as well. So a couple of our guys will go out into schools. So we'll be working very closely with the Spaghetti Bridge schools that have just started to open up across Somerset and Devon. So they've got a new one coming up in Yeovil, and they've got the Silverbridge School in Taunton. So we've been working very closely with them around neurodiversity and communication styles, and understanding how when the adults change, kind of relied on the Paul Dick stuff there, but like when the adults change, how that then can help facilitate learning, and people coming from that Dan Hughes pace model, where you're playful. And we've kind of flipped the attune to kind of recognizing things are probably being driven by anxiety. Yeah. So when you're thinking, oh, this is anxiety, then actually your facial expressions will be different, as opposed to when you're thinking it's this, it's that, it's like, it's all it's the behavior. Whereas actually if you're like, oh, it's anxiety, then everything about your body language and your face changes. And then the C in that pace is like curiosity. So then you're curious about, what does this mean then? Is moving to kind of Marshall Rosenberg, he would kind of be going, he's the non-violent communication guy, and he would kind of be going, what's the need? There's something going on here. There's a need that isn't being met. So let's look for that rather than focusing on what we're being presented with. And then E is for kind of the empathy. And then we kind of said, let's put a D on the end, because it's great to write all of that, but you actually do have to do it. Like, so you can write it, oh yeah, we're thinking we're doing that. You actually have to be doing it as well. So within organizations that we work with, we kind of use that as part of our model as well. So we use the CAPS model around communication, actions and behaviors, the thinking process, which is about routine and repetition, and then this sensory processing. And then we kind of plug onto it this paced model, just to give people kind of some foundations and some models to work with, to keep tracking in with what they're doing, as opposed to kind of going, well, you need to change. You know, so there's one finger going there, but there's three back here. So that's kind of from our kind of training perspective then. So we do autism awareness, and like I say, we're sometimes really lucky we get funded through Somerset Skills in Learning to do that. They also give us an opportunity to deliver autism strategies and resources. So then we take it to the next level around actually really coming up with strategies that people can use and implement, language patterns that people can use, actual practical things that people can do, adaptations they can make within the house, just to make life a little bit easier for people. And then we also do what we call run a mental wealth course, which is a course, you know, for us to start to understand about if we thought about our mental wealth as much as we thought about our financial wealth, we'd all be extremely rich. So during lockdown, we wrote a kind of 10 steps around keeping the mental wealth, applying that same kind of the energy that you put out, you need to bring as much back in. And again, it links to neurodiversity. You know, it links to mental health. If you're giving lots of energy out in whatever capacity, going shopping, interacting with people, actually you may well need some recovery time after that. Like, you want to top your balance back up, because if you're giving lots out, you still want to kind of get it rebalanced so that you're saving some for you as well, particularly those of us that were like, yeah, oh yes, I'll do that, oh yes, I'll do that, oh yes, I'll do that. And it's like, oh, it's like, is that your stuff or is this my stuff? You know? We've been really fortunate, you know, to run some of those courses as well, and hopefully we'll get to run a few more of those over the next sort of 6 months, once the funding sort of starts to open up again around applications.
So how would people sign up for those courses? Are they predominantly on Somerset Skills and Learning, or is there another way? Right.
Yeah, so you can go on to Somerset Skills and Learning, or you can like kind of sign up to our newsletter, and then every month that says to people like, this is on, that's on, this is what's available. You can contact us, and then actually we can put you on the list as well. So sometimes we put people on the waiting list. Actually, that really helps us, because when we're applying for funding, if we're saying we've got 20 people in Yeovil and they'd all really like to do the course, can you fund it? Then, you know, that does make things a lot easier for us. The same with our 12-step, actually. If we're applying for funding for our 12-step anxiety recovery program, then actually that's also it's really helpful for us to know that we've got a cohort of people that would like to attend.
Right, yeah. Yeah, makes it easier to get the funding. So what does your 12-step anxiety program kind of contain?
Well, so this came from, again, Somerset Skills and Learning. How amazing is that organisation? They funded a pilot for us, and it came out of a project called the Real Project that they were part of, and we were fortunate enough to collaborate with them on that and work to doing some delivery. And what came out of it was really this realization that understanding what's actually happening and learning about your anxiety, knowing what it is and recognizing the sensations, doing that within a group if possible, and then peer support. When they did the research on it, they discovered they did two or three different other comparables, and what they realized was actually the block of people that did learning, did a little bit of kind of therapeutic stuff for themselves, and started to understand about what was happening for themselves. Those were the people with the biggest progress. So from that, we were then like, yeah, we need a program. Then I went off and did a little bit of this discovering around the fellowship and things like that around the 12 steps. So I love learning, you know, very curious. And then I came back and I was like, actually, that model, like you know, why do you have to have been in those kind of have addictions to then get this lovely fellowship that continues after, you know, because there is something really very kind of special about that, about this connectivity where people are going like, I'm going through something, and they're like, yeah, I'm going through something, and it may not be the same, but what's happening with my body and my thoughts are very similar. Like, let's support each other, or, you know, let's sponsor each other as kind of the language that they might use. So we were very, very informed by that. So we people commit to each other in the group. It's like we're going to commit to pitch up every week, because actually the day you don't want to come, that is the day to come.
Yeah.
So, and then after, we support that group if they want to set up their own forum. So when we did this before COVID, like our groups that set up across, funded through FFNL, those groups that had all been through the courses and then went off, and some went into work and some went into education, and some became micro providers, and some became people that started to volunteer for us. When we had the lockdown, because they'd set up peer support groups on Facebook, WhatsApp, those groups were all supporting each other. And I literally can't tell you how it warmed my heart when I saw little flurries of connectivity when people were really struggling during that time. And those groups are still there now. So just small pockets, you know, 6-7 people, but still supporting. Like that's incredible. So so that's where the model comes from. You do each step, and it's all designed so that you do each step for a purpose, so that people go through things gently, even when you get a little bit excited by it and you have a little light bulb moment or whatever. It's like, you know, we still need to be gentle, so we gently move through the steps of the program. And we you know, there's different models and packages, so you can use it, so you can do some one-to-one coaching before and then go on to the 12 step, and then you can have some one-to-one coaching to do progression, you know, to maybe going into work or education or into college or something. So the model can be adapted and used to lots of different areas, actually. And that's where we've kind of moved it to do our Eclipse wellbeing and coaching. But before we go into that, I just want to talk about the practitioners, because what we did realise, there are not enough of us, and that we aren't all specialised in every area. So yeah, so we can use the 12 Step Anxiety Programme. And we've got research and data that shows, yeah, it's really effective for parents of children with SEND, yeah, or if you're living with someone with anxiety, or if you've got anxiety. But actually, anyone working with a particular cohort could train as a practitioner with us. And then what we do is we help that person design their own handbook of delivery. So they stay in the steps, but then we coach them and how they're going to deliver, but also how they're going to adapt that model and those steps for the cohort of people that they're working with. So that was most definitely kind of where we'd got to with it. It's like, yeah, people need to become practitioners as well, so that we aren't just trying to do it all ourselves.
Yeah. And that doesn't necessarily have to be, they don't have to be working with people that are neurodiverse. They can be working with any group of people, and providing that 12-step anxiety program would have an impact, then sign up. And okay,
absolutely. So anyone who's kind of doing any kind of work where you've got a group of people and they have some anxiety going on, it might be that the 12-step anxiety program would be a good way of doing it. You can deliver the 12-step one-to-one as well. So for me personally, I do it one-to-one with some people on Zoom, just because for them it's really difficult to get that connectivity, or to get out there too far away. But yeah, so you can do it one-to-one, and you can do it on Zoom. And it's for anyone. Like, it's for anyone. We can adapt it for people with neurodiversity. We can adapt it for people with intellectual differences. You know, it can be adapted. I'm sure, you know, we've got someone at the moment who's doing it who uses BSL. And so it's reading through it and then doing the sign-in to talk it through. And so they're doing it. So yeah, so whatever your skill set is as you know, a professional in whatever capacity, then we can provide you with the skill set to become a deliverer of a practitioner, to become for the 12 steps. Yeah. So and I think this is one of the things with it as well. It's great for experts by experience.
Yeah.
And there used to be a lot more courses that you could do to become a practitioner, and your expert by experience was enough. But a lot of things have changed now, and so now they want people to have done their English and maths. And I'm not saying like that, yeah, we want people to do their English and maths, but actually we wouldn't want that to, the fact that they haven't got that, we wouldn't want that to stop someone using their life experience to become a practitioner and be able to help other people kind of have light bulb moments, make changes. So I think that's probably one of the things as well. So anyone who's a life coach or an NLP or a therapist, a psychologist, or working with cohorts or groups of people, if there's anxiety bubbling and it's catchy, anxiety is very catchy. If it's catching, then it might be worth thinking about whether this program would be helpful. So, yeah.
And so how would they sign up? Is that again through the newsletter would be the best thing to do for if somebody wanted to sign up to become the practitioner?
Yeah, so we've got our own 12 Step Anxiety program website. So we do have a page for it on the Autism Somerset website, but we do have our own 12 Step Anxiety program website as well. And so if people are interested in becoming practitioners, then they can you can email me if you're interested, or if you've got a team of people and you're like, oh yeah, that'd be really helpful for our team, then you can email me and then we can have a conversation. Or if as individuals, if you're thinking, oh crikey, yeah, that would be great, email me, and then if we've got enough individuals, then we put a course on.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Amazing. So your Eclipse.
Yes. So yeah, Eclipse Wellbeing and Coaching. Because of all of these things, and kind of where we've got to now, we work quite closely if we get the opportunities with Somerset Parent Care Forum, and we've kind of been having conversations with families, and we get a lot of emails and phone calls from parents, from carers, wanting to know more and wanting signposting, etc. But what we've really realised is that there is definitely something around transition. So there's something around the transition from school into college, and there's something around kind of the 16 to 25-year-olds that might kind of start college and then dip out of college, or might have stayed on at school and then dipped out, or started a job and then it didn't happen, or so it just feels like there's a little bit of something within the transition cohort where people aren't kind of looking for an alternative provision or the kind of traditional day service. They might be looking for other things to do that maybe is one-to-one or focused around kind of independent skills for everyday living, or learning some of those soft skills around socializing and interacting in the community, as well as kind of maybe then doing the 12 step too with a group of other young people. So that's really where the Eclipse coaching and wellbeing has kind of come from, is that like actually if we have a cohort of people within our team with lots and lots of experience, why would we not be working with or supporting, coming alongside people that only need perhaps maybe two days, perhaps maybe 2 days of kind of interaction with someone to go shopping, a lot like what micro-providers do, so yeah. a lot of our team are people that were micro-providers or are micro-providers as well as, and they come and work alongside us because actually it's good to have a team of people around you that can support and help. And also we use a case management system as well, so actually all the information is all held in one space. We can set goals from education and healthcare plans. We can work at getting those goals achieved, and we can evidence it all. So I think there's something about it's a little bit around. Some of your children might go to uni and college, and some may not. And the ones that don't, how do they learn those skills then? Where do you get that from?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, they're independent living skills. Being able to move on and carry on their life as an independent adult.
Yes, yeah. And sometimes it takes someone kind of outside of school and parents and family to kind of see the qualities. So for me, when someone says they're doing this, they're doing that, I'm like, brilliant. Where would that be useful? Knocking down walls. fabulous. So it's definitely a job for people that love to knock down walls.
Yeah.
So it's definitely that. It's definitely about, you know, coming alongside people and kind of finding about what you're passionate at, what you're really good at. You know, there's a lot to be said about doing what you're good at to get those kind of sensations of the oxytocin endorphins going. It might not be what you're completely passionate about, but if it's something that you're really good at, then why would you not be utilizing that in some way to bring, you know, those lovely feelings for us, but also some connectivity? And it might be a little bit of very slight adaptations and like we call, you know, reasonable adjustments within workplaces or that can make that happen.
Yeah.
You know, so that's us, passionate.
Yeah. And a whole bunch of amazing programs that are available out there for, you know, pretty much everybody to access. So
Yeah.
well worth going on and having a look on the website and signing up to the newsletter, you know, to find out that information. Really, I think it's an amazing service and well worth everybody going and having a look at, to be honest.
Thank you, Bella. Yeah, so I mean, we do collaborate. Like, we work really closely with as many organisations as we can. I mean, I think that's one of the brilliant things about Somerset is that we have a lot of third sector organisations. You know, so we've just become part of the Somerset Big Tent. You know, we work closely with Somerset Community Foundation, Somerset Skills and Learning, Somerset Parent Care Forum. I mean, it's incredible that there are just so many organisations. It's just, you know, we've got the Somerset Choices website now. You know, we've got the Community Connectors. You've got Village Aid. Like, there's so many of us. There's Plus. There's lots and lots of organisations that all kind of are working together now, which is incredible. So I think we're really, really lucky with that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so if anybody's got any comments, pop them in the comments box and we'll get them answered. We'll either send them over to Alison and or we'll try and answer them ourselves, whichever. And yeah, I think that's kind of it from us, to be honest. So thank you very much for joining us, Alison. And if anybody's got any questions or anything, you're happy for someone to contact you and pop on the website and have a look on there. And yeah, hopefully this is going to raise the awareness and everybody's going to sign up for a whole load of programs for you.
Brilliant. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.